A very good afternoon, children. Today we are going to learn lesson number 9, agreement of verbs with subject. But before starting the lesson, I would like to remind you of very important things for your promotion to the next class. Now you are in class 4. After passing class 4, you will be going to class 5. So what should you do to get promotion to class 5? Number 1, you must attend all the online classes. Attendance will be taken. So during this whole session, at least 75% attendance must be there. It is mentioned in the school diary also. Second point, you must take all the unit test and the terminal exams very seriously. So your promotion to the next class depends upon the overall performance in the academic session and 75% of the attendance. I hope you understood my point very clearly. Please inform your parents also. Do not miss any class because attendance will be taken. And take the unit tests and the terminal exams very seriously. Now the lesson. Let's start. Today we will discuss about agreement of verbs with subject. What is a subject? How to find out the subject? Subject of the verb can be found by asking the question who or what. A long sentence will be there. You want to find out which is the subject. Many words will be there in a sentence. Okay. Now what is the definition of sentence? A sentence is a group of words which are the subject, verb, predicate and gives you complete sense and gives you complete idea. It is a sentence. Okay. Now how to find out which is the subject? Very simple. Read the sentence carefully and ask the question, who or what? Who or what? Suppose Saroj Khan is dancing. Saroj Khan is dancing. Who is dancing? Saroj Khan. Saroj Khan is the subject. Okay. Suppose I say the day is cloudy. The day is cloudy. What is cloudy? The day. The day is the subject. The boys are shouting. The boys are shouting. How to find out the subject? Who are shouting? The boys. The boys is the subject. Okay? Like that. The subject of the verb can be found by asking the question who or what. When you find out the subject in a sentence, automatically the rest will be predicate. A subject has two parts. I think I have written here. Yeah. A sentence. A sentence has two parts. A sentence can be divided into two parts. First part is subject. And the second part is predicate. Now what is the subject? How to find out the subject? Simple. You ask the question who or what. That is subject. And the rest is automatically predicate. And the predicate contains the verbs. The predicates contain the verbs. So I was saying the boys are shouting. The boys are shouting. Who are shouting? The boys. The boys is the subject. And I said predicate has a verb. Is a verb. Is helping verb. So the remaining part is shouting is predicate. Okay. The next point. We will discuss about finite verb or finite verb and infinite verb. Finite verb and infinite verb. So let's see the definition. Finite verbs are changeable with time, person and number. What is the meaning? present tense, future tense. How will you decide whether the sentence is in past, present or future? By looking at the verb, which is changeable. By looking at the verb. Like, I am teaching you, right? Teach, simple present tense. Okay, simple present tense. Taught, past tense. The teacher is teaching. The teacher teaches, present tense. The teacher has taught, past tense. Simple present tense, simple past tense, simple future tense. Or in other words, you can say present, past and future. You have done the table also, like present, past and future. I'll give you one more example. Write. What is the past tense? Wrote. Present tense, write. Past tense, wrote. What will be the future tense? Will write. Write, wrote, will write. Suppose singing. Sing, sang, will sing. Present tense, past tense, future tense. So finite verbs are changeable according to the time. Then person. Person. First person, second person, third person. Okay. I, first person. You, second person. They, third person. We is also first person. When you are including yourself, you're talking about yourself in a group, we say we. This is also first person. Like, I am learning. I am learning. I is first person. Suppose you say, we are learning. We means you are also there in the group. That is the first person. Then we say, you are learning. You are learning. You, second person. They are learning, third person. When you are discussing with somebody, okay, you become the first person, and the person who is listening to you is the second person. And the person who you are talking about is the third person. Okay, I and we, first person. You, second person. They, third person. Then I have told you that. Then it comes about number. Number means very simple. Do you know what is the number? I have told you about time, present, past, future. Person, first person, second person, third person. Now, number. Number means singular and plural. Singular and plural. I'll give you some examples. Manoj draws very beautifully. Manoj draws very beautifully. It is simple present tense. Manoj draws very beautifully. Manoj is a singular person. Singular present tense. Manoj draws beautifully. Suppose Manoj and Mohan are there. I cannot say Manoj and Mohan draws. No. For singular, draws. But now here, Manoj and Mohan, two are there. Plural. Manoj and Mohan draw. S is on here. Manoj and Mohan draw beautifully. See, it is changing according to the person, according to the singular and plural. The boy walks very hard. The boy walks very hard. Singular person. The boys walk very hard. It's just a change of S, you see. The boy, singular. The boy walks very hard. Now I am changing into plural. The boys walk very hard. For singular present tense, we use S or ES. Okay? But for plural, we do not use something. So, next one is non-finite, not finite verbs do not change. Okay, one more point I forgot. These finite verbs are placed near the subject. How to find the subject? By asking the question who or what. How to find the subject? By asking the question who or what. These finite verbs are placed near the subject. It may be after the subject or before the subject. Like I say, the boys are playing. The boys are playing. Who are playing? The boys. The boys is the subject. And what are they doing? Playing. Playing is the verb. So it is finite verb. It is placed near the subject. Remember that. Okay. Next, non-finite verbs do not change. They do not change according to the time, person, and number. This is the difference. Finite verbs change with time, person, and number. Non-finite verbs do not change with time, person, and number. And they have no action. They do not do any work and are away from the subject. This is just the opposite of the finite verb. Finite verbs are changeable. They change with time, person, and number. Okay. Finite verbs are changeable. They change with time, person, and number. Non-finite verbs are not changeable. They do not change with time, person, and number. Non-finite verbs are not changeable. Finite verbs, the verbs are near the subject. In non-finite verbs, the verbs are not near the subject and they have no action. In non-finite verbs, the verbs have no action. Okay. Then I have told you about the sentence. So summary: finite verbs are changeable with time, person, and number. They are placed near the subject. Then non-finite verbs do not change, have no action, and are away from the subject. Next is, a sentence has two parts, subject and predicate. Subject of the verb can be found out by asking the question who or what. Predicate contains the verbs. Now some examples are there in your book. Let me tell you, let me explain you. Like in page number 42. Pick out the verbs in the following sentences and say which are finite and which are simple infinitives. Okay. In finite verbs, they are near the subject. The verbs are near the subject. Like the cold wind made us shiver. What made us shiver? The cold wind. The cold wind is the subject. And made, immediately after the subject, the verb made is there. It is finite. So you have to underline the verb made, and after the sentence you write finite. Number 2. The loud roars of the lions made the child tremble with fear. What made the child tremble with fear? The loud roar of the lions. Lions is the noun here, no subject. Made is the verb. So it is finite. Number 3. Arjun likes to play with his friends. Who likes to play with his friends? Arjun. Arjun is the subject. It is a noun. And likes, the verb, is near Arjun. So it is finite. Okay. Then you come to page number 44. Before that you read all this. Okay, I have explained you in the short. A few are there. A noun, nouns are what group of words which does the work of a noun. Jet, nouns, man, are now pronoun which does not work. Okay. Then subject and verb. Pick out the finite verbs and their subjects from the following sentence. Use a table like the one given below. An example has been done. You have to make a table like this. One column subject, another column verb. It's very simple. How to find out the subject? By asking the question who or what. And verb means action word. Alright, let's see. The policeman asked his name and address. Who asked? The policeman. The policeman is the subject. And what did the policeman do? Ask. Ask is the verb. Very simple. Number 2. The little children of the nursery held a Christmas party in their school. Who held a small party? Christmas party? Who? The little children. The little children is the subject. And what did the little children do? They held a Christmas party. Held is the verb. The little children of the nursery class is subject. Held is the verb. One more. The 3 wise men of the east brought gifts for the infant Jesus. Who brought the gifts? The 3 wise men of east. That is the subject. 3 wise men of the east is the subject. And what did they do? They brought gifts. Brought is the verb. So put verb in the next column. Like then you read page number 45. It's easy. Page 45. Then you come to page number 46. What you have to do? Fill in the blanks with the correct forms of the verbs chosen from those given in the brackets. Now here you have to keep in mind, I said you finite verbs change with time, person and number. Number means singular and plural. Number means singular and plural. Let us see. In singular present tense, we add s or es in the verb. Okay. But in singular present tense only it is there. But in plural present tense, we don't add s or es after the verb. Let us see. The lady, singular person. The lady you met just now is or are my mother's best friend. Lady is singular. So what will you choose? Is or are? Is. Singular, is, plural, are. Then you come to number 2. Anyone who wants or want to win the prize must attend school every day. Anyone. It's once or want. I told you singular present tense has s or es after the verb. That is wants. Anyone wants. Number 3. There is or are no furniture in this room. Furniture is always referred as a singular. You know, in English there are some words which always remain the same. No singular, no plural. One of them is furniture. Another is sheep. S-H-E-E-P, sheep. They are always singular. And some words are there which are always plural. Like trousers, binoculars, spectacles. They are always plural. So furniture is always singular. So you will choose is. Okay, accordingly you do. Exercise D. Rewrite the following sentences, correcting the forms of the verbs wherever necessary. Means in these sentences, the verbs are not put according to the tense, according to the time. Present tense, past tense, future tense. Like see number 1. This group of students are going on an excursion. Group. We are talking about one group, not groups. Group is singular, groups is plural. When we are talking about a single group, a group of students is. We are not talking about the students only, we are talking about the group of, one group of students, one group. So, is. R is printed there, cancel R and write is. Number 2. Everyone blame Sohail wherever the class are punished. Now, what is wrong? Everyone, singular. Singular present tense, the verb must have s or es. So, everyone blames at s. Everyone blames Sohail whenever the class is, single class, is punished. Number 3. Ronnie liked reading mystery stories. I like travelers. See, Ronnie is a singular person. The sentence is in present tense. So, singular present tense, s or es after the verb. So, Ronnie likes, not like. Ronnie likes reading mystery stories, and I like, not likes. I like travelers. We complete this, okay? Okay, I think we have come to the end. Now I want you all to read the whole sentence and complete the exercises. So we have come to the end of today's lesson. So till the next time, bye.